Why strong leaders often increase corruption? Strong leaders are often celebrated as a solution to instability. When institutions fail, societies search for decisive figures who promise order, control, and rapid change. The assumption is simple: strong leadership will fix weak systems. History suggests the opposite. In many countries, strong leadership does not reduce corruption. It often accelerates it. This paradox is not about personal ethics or intentions. It is about how power reshapes systems once it becomes concentrated. Corruption does not emerge from chaos alone. It thrives in environments where power is predictable, centralized, and protected. Strong leaders tend to centralize authority. They reduce institutional friction. They bypass slow processes. They weaken independent oversight. At first, this feels effective. Decisions are faster. Policies appear coherent. Opposition is contained. But these same mechanisms quietly remove accountability. Institutions exist to slow power down. They distribute authority across courts, regulators, legislatures, and media. They create friction by design. Strong leaders see this friction as inefficiency. Once removed, power flows upward. And when power flows upward, access to power becomes valuable. Where access becomes valuable, corruption follows. This is how corruption shifts from random abuse into an organized system. Appointments stop being merit-based. They become rewards for loyalty. Public contracts become political instruments. Rules become flexible, selectively enforced, or quietly ignored. Corruption does not need disorder to survive. It needs stability. Strong leadership often provides exactly that. Over time, corruption adapts to the new structure. It becomes institutionalized, protected, normalized. This explains why corruption can increase even under leaders who campaign on reform. The problem is not strength itself. It is unchecked strength. Strong leaders often weaken independent institutions under the belief that control ensures stability. But stability without accountability creates predictability for corrupt networks. This is why corruption under strong leadership is often quieter, not smaller. Instead of open chaos, corruption becomes managed. Instead of visible collapse, systems hollow out. From the outside, the state appears functional. From the inside, trust erodes. Citizens adjust their expectations. Businesses adapt their strategies. Survival replaces innovation. At this stage, corruption is no longer perceived as a failure of the system. It becomes the system. In many cases, anti-corruption campaigns themselves become tools of consolidation. Selective enforcement replaces rule of law. Investigations target opponents. Allies remain untouched. Corruption becomes political leverage. This creates a powerful illusion. Strong leaders appear decisive. Institutions appear disciplined. But accountability disappears. Once accountability is gone, reversing corruption becomes exponentially harder. Because corruption is no longer an anomaly, it is embedded. This pattern is visible across regions and political ideologies. Authoritarian systems experience it quickly. Hybrid systems experience it gradually. Even democratic systems are not immune when power concentrates for too long. The common factor is not ideology. It is institutional erosion. Reducing corruption requires the opposite of what strong leaders often prioritize. It requires independent courts that cannot be overridden, regulators that cannot be dismissed, media that cannot be silenced, decentralized authority that limits concentration. These mechanisms slow decision-making. They frustrate leaders. They appear inefficient. But they exist for a reason. They prevent corruption from becoming structural. Strong leaders often promise efficiency, but efficiency without constraints removes the very barriers that contain corruption. This is why leadership strength alone cannot solve corruption. The critical variable is not who leads. It is how power is distributed. Strong leaders do not create corruption from nothing. They remove the obstacles that keep it contained. And once those obstacles disappear, rebuilding them becomes far more difficult than dismantling them. Corruption survives leaders, but it is empowered by systems that concentrate authority without accountability. This is the quiet danger of strong leadership. Not instability, not chaos, but the normalization of corruption as governance.